Good morning, students. Welcome to the class. In this class, we are going to discuss a brief synopsis from the chapter Alcohols, Phenols, and Ethers. First, all of you observe these structures. Here, a benzene ring is given. All the corners, this is a corner, 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 this is a corner. All these corners are indicating that carbon atoms. And the white dots or the white balls are indicating hydrogen atoms. Here also, the white ball is indicating hydrogen atom. This is the oxygen atom. The red color symbol, red color ball is indicating oxygen atom. So this is the representation for phenol. What is the formula of phenol? Can anybody say what is the formula of phenol? C6H5OH. The formula of phenol is C6H5OH. This is a phenol. And coming to this structure, here you are seeing the red ball that is indicating oxygen atom. This is a single bond. This is a single bond. Single bond oxygen, single bond. This type of compounds are called as ethers. And this rest of the group is ethyl group because this is a carbon, hydrogen, hydrogen. That is CH2 group. Single bond. This is CH3 group. CH3 group bonded to CH2 group is called as ethyl group. Here also same. Single bond CH2, single bond CH3. The corner, the black ball is indicating carbon atom and the white balls are indicating hydrogen atom. So this group is indicating ethyl group. This group is indicating ethyl group. So here I'm writing the formula C2H5 OC2H5. This is an ether. Single bond or single bond compounds are called as ethers. Okay. Now coming to this compound. Here you are observing a double bond between the two carbon atoms. And this carbon is bonded to hydrogen and hydrogen. That is CH2 double bond C single bond H single bond. This total group is called as vinyl. CH2, this is the carbon, hydrogen, hydrogen. CH2 double bond C single bond H single bond group is called as vinyl, right? And that is bonded to CH2 group. So this is the allyl group. Next, this carbon is bonded to oxygen, oxygen is bonded to hydrogen. So this is a compound called as alcohol. This is a compound. This is known as alcohol. This compound is called as ether. This compound, and this compound is called as a phenol. So how to distinguish alcohols, phenols, and ethers? How can we distinguish? Yes, here you can see how to distinguish alcohols, phenols, and ethers. Alcohols, they are going to contain single bond OH group, that is hydroxyl group, attached to the saturated carbon atom. Saturated carbon atom means sp3 carbon atom. So whenever a OH group is bonded to sp3 carbon, that is considered as alcohol. Suppose if a hydroxy group, that is OH group, is bonded to sp2 carbon and the sp2 carbon is in aromatic ring, for example benzene ring, then only the compounds are called as phenols. So here the definition is given. Phenol is formed when a hydrogen atom in a benzene molecule is replaced by OH group. What is benzene molecule? C6H6 is the benzene molecule. Okay. From this benzene, one of the hydrogen is replaced with the OH group. Then this type of compounds are called as phenols. So in the phenols, OH group is attached to sp2 carbon. In alcohols, OH group is attached to sp3 carbon. This is important for CET, NEET, and JEE. The hybridization of carbon in alcohols and in phenols. Okay, coming to the ethers. How we will get ethers means whenever an oxygen atom is connected to two alkyl groups or two aryl groups. For example, alkyl group, or Here also R, two alkyl groups are there. These two are connected with a single bond or single bond. Then this is called as ether. Otherwise, when two aryl groups, aryl means AR single bond, AR single bond. When the aryl groups are connected with single bond or single bond, then this compound is called as ether. So ethers are nothing but the compounds in which two alkyl groups or two aryl groups are connected through single bond or single bond. The compounds are called as ethers. So take the screenshot of this one regarding the definition of alcohols, phenols, and ethers. In alcohols, what is a hybridization of carbon? OH group is attached to sp3 carbon. In phenols, OH group is attached to sp2 carbon. What about ethers? In ethers, suppose here I am taking a single bond or single bond. Suppose here I am writing CH2 group, single bond CH3 group. Here I am going to take only CH3. Now tell me, which type of carbon it is? Single bonded carbon, that is sp3 carbon. Okay, this is also single bonded carbon, sp3 carbon. So in the case of ethers, the oxygen atom is bonded to the carbons, they are in sp3 hybridization. In phenols, the OH group is bonded to the carbon, that is in sp2 hybridization. In alcohols, the carbon is the OH group is bonded to the carbon, that is in sp3 hybridization. Next, coming to the classification of alcohols. Depending upon the number of hydroxyl groups attached, the alcohols are classified into the three types. First one is monohydric alcohols. For example, if you take ethyl alcohol, CH3, CH2OH. See this compound, CH3, CH2, single bond, CH2, single bond OH. Here, how many OH groups are present? Only one. So if any alcohol containing only one OH group attached to the sp3 carbon, that is the monohydric alcohol. Here, this is an example of dihydric alcohol. Two OH groups are there and they are attached to sp3 carbons. So this compound is an example of dihydric alcohol. And this compound is also an example of dihydric alcohol because single bond OH group, that is alcohol group, is attached to sp3 carbon. Second alcohol group attached to sp3 carbon. Then this type of compounds are called as dihydric alcohols. Next, coming to the trihydric alcohols. See here, this is a trihydric alcohol. OH group attached to the sp3 carbon. Second OH group attached to the sp3 carbon. Third OH group attached to the sp3 carbon. So if any alcohol containing three OH groups, that is said to be trihydric. This is also an example of trihydric alcohol. On which basis? Depending upon the number of hydroxyl groups attached, the alcohols are classified as monohydric, dihydric, trihydric alcohols. Next, another classification, depending upon the carbon atom to which the OH group is directly attached. Alcohols are classified into three types: primary alcohols, secondary alcohols, tertiary alcohols. Here you can see the examples. The OH group is attached to the carbon, that is attached with only one other carbon. So this carbon is called as first degree carbon or primary carbon. So this is an example of primary alcohol. And coming to this example, here OH group is directly attached to a carbon and that carbon is attached with the two other carbons. Here one carbon is there, here one carbon is there. So this carbon is known as second degree carbon. So this is an example of secondary alcohol. Coming to this example, here OH group attached carbon attached directly with the three other carbons. So this carbon is called as 3-degree carbon or a tertiary carbon. Then it is an example of tertiary alcohol. So depending upon the type of carbon to which the OH group attached, alcohols are classified into primary alcohols, secondary alcohols, and tertiary alcohols. Next, coming to the preparation of alcohols. Alcohols can be prepared by the process of hydration of alkenes. In the first year syllabus, you studied about hydration of alkenes. Alkenes are classified into two types. Symmetrical alkenes are there, unsymmetrical alkenes are there. Addition of water to alkenes follows Markovnikov addition as well as anti-Markovnikov addition. So please go through the Markovnikov addition of water to alkenes and anti-Markovnikov addition of water to alkenes. So simply you can understand that hydration of alkenes gives alcohols. Of course, From carbonyl compounds also we can prepare alcohols. Carbonyl compounds. What is meant by carbonyl compound? Aldehydes and ketones. Carbonyl compounds are nothing but aldehydes and ketones. Aldehyde. What is the functional group of aldehyde? Single bond C, double bond O, single bond H is the functional group of aldehyde. Suppose here if you add one more hydrogen, that will become alcohol. Addition of hydrogen is called as reduction. So carbonyl compounds on reduction gives alcohols. For example, aldehydes on reduction gives primary alcohols as well as secondary alcohols. Whereas coming to the ketones, already in the classroom, I gave all the notes. Please check the alcohols, phenols, and ethers notes. If you take the ketones, the functional group is single bond C, double bond O, single bond. Suppose here, if you add one more hydrogen, then you will get alcohol. So addition of hydrogen is called as reduction. So what we can say, carbonyl compounds on reduction. Once again, carbonyl compounds on reduction, they gives alcohols. Based on this concept, so many MCQs are there in your notes as well as in your material. Please solve all those things. And here the mechanism is two types is there, particularly for hydration of alkenes, two types of mechanism you can observe. One is Markovnikov addition. Markovnikov's addition. And anti-Markovnikov addition. The anti-Markovnikov addition is also called as Karash effect. So once go through these two things, Markovnikov addition and anti-Markovnikov addition. And next coming to carbonyl compounds. Already I said carbonyl compounds are nothing but aldehydes and ketones. Aldehydes and ketones collectively are called as carbonyl compounds. Aldehydes and ketones are collectively called as carbonyl compounds when they are going to react with Grignard reagent or when they are going to undergo catalytic reduction, then we will get alcohols. Once again, I'm saying, please go through your notes. Every reaction is explained and notes is given. Please go through the notes. Next, coming to classification of phenols. Same like alcohols. If one OH group is there, that is monohydric phenol. If two OH groups are there, that is dihydric phenol. If three OH groups are there, that is trihydric phenol. But the OH group must be attached to aromatic carbon. For example, if I'm taking the benzene, from the benzene, one of the hydrogen is replaced with OH group. This is a phenol, monohydric alcohol. Phenol is an example of monohydric alcohol. And next one is benzene ring attached with two OH groups. This is the dihydric alcohol. Of course, here isomers are there. Please go through your NCERT textbook class 12. There you can find three types of 1,2 dihydroxybenzene or phenols, right? Once go through the material or textbook. And this is the trihydric alcohol. Benzene ring having three OH groups, 1, 2, 3. So phenols are classified into three types based on the number of OH groups attached directly to the benzene ring. If one OH group is there, monohydric alcohol. If two OH groups are attached, that is dihydric alcohols. If three OH groups are attached, that is trihydric, not alcohols, phenols. Once again, this is the monohydric phenol. This is the dihydric phenol. This is the trihydric phenol. Yes, next coming to the preparation of phenols. The preparation of phenols, alcohols can be prepared by substitution reactions or by hydrolyzing diazonium salts from cumin. Particularly from the cumin, we can easily prepare the phenols. So most of the times to prepare the phenols, we are going to take the cumin. Cumin on auto oxidation, first it is going to give cumin hydroperoxide, which on hydrolysis that gives phenol. And one more reaction is there. to prepare the phenol? How you can prepare? Yes, tell me how you can prepare the phenols. By taking diazonium salts. Benzene diazonium salt is there. That reaction is also explained in the notes. Please check it. Right. So this is the structure of phenol. What is the formula of phenol? C6H5OH is the formula of phenol. That can be represented like this, or that can be represented like this. The blue circles are indicating carbon atoms. The pink color circles are indicating hydrogen atoms, as well as here yellow color is given, that is indicating oxygen atom. Of course, here we have to write pi bond. Here we have to write pi bond. Here we have to write pi bond. And these pi bonds are undergoing continuous delocalization. So as a result, the phenols readily undergoes electrophilic substitution reactions rather than nucleophilic substitution reactions. Next, coming to classification of ethers. First of all, ethers means single bond was single bond group containing compounds are called as ethers. And this single bonds are substituted with alkyl groups, that is called as aliphatic ether. Suppose instead of alkyl groups, if we are going to take aryl groups, that is called as aromatic ethers. So ethers are of two types, aliphatic ethers and aromatic ethers. And again, they are classified into two types, symmetrical ethers and unsymmetrical ethers. See this case here, CH3 group is there, here CH3 group is there. When same type of alkyl groups are attached to the ether group, that is called as symmetrical ether. In the second example also, ethyl group is there, ethyl group is there, both are attached to oxygen atom. So dimethyl ether and diethyl ether, they are the examples of symmetrical ethers. Whereas coming to unsymmetrical ethers, to the ether group on either side, if different types of alkyl groups are there, here methyl group is there, here ethyl group is there. To the ether group on either side, if different types of alkyl groups or aryl groups are there, that is called as unsymmetrical ether. This is called as ethyl methyl ether. C2H5 is called as ethyl, CH3 is called as methyl, ethyl methyl ether. And this is the ether. Here you can see ethyl group. Here you can see phenyl group. Phenyl group is aromatic group. So this compound is a mixed ether. Why I'm saying mixed ether means alkyl aryl ether. This compound is an example of alkyl aryl ether. Alkyl aryl ether. This is a mixed ether. Okay, and it is an example of unsymmetrical ether. Next, preparation of ethers. The ethers can be prepared by dehydration of alcohols, and ethers can be prepared by Williamson synthesis. My dear students, the Williamson synthesis is very, very, very important. Once go through the notes, you can find what is Williamson synthesis. There you can find a controversy between SN reactions and elimination reactions. What is Williamson synthesis? Can anybody say what is Williamson synthesis? In Williamson ether synthesis, alkyl halide react with sodium alkoxide, that gives the ether. This is the reaction involved in Williamson ether synthesis. But the question arises, when you take alkyl halide, again 3 types of alkyl halides are possible: first degree alkyl halides, second degree alkyl halides, and third degree alkyl halides. The third degree alkyl halides does not give ether, only first degree and second degree alkyl halides gives the ethers. And the reaction mechanism is SN2 reaction mechanism. If you take particularly first degree alkyl halides, they are very reactive. Through SN2 reaction mechanism, you will get the formation of ether. Once check the notes. If you take the tertiary alkyl halide, that does not undergo SN2 reaction mechanism, they undergo elimination reaction mechanism. That's why we don't get ethers by taking tertiary alkyl halides. And from alcohols, phenols, and ethers, some important questions. First of all, you have to focus on IUPAC nomenclature. After that, you have to focus on physical properties. Among the physical properties, particularly, you have to focus on boiling points. Already in every chapter, we discussed that as the branch increase for a given isomer, the boiling points get decreases. That is one thing. And second thing is, if you take any alcohol and its ether, alcohols and ethers are functional isomers. Alcohol and its ethers are functional isomers. So when you take the isomers of alcohol and ether, alcohols are having more boiling point. Why alcohols are having more boiling point? Because alcohols can form hydrogen bonding. Because of the formation of hydrogen bonding in alcohols, alcohols are having high boiling point than with compared to ethers and with compared to the corresponding hydrocarbons of comparable molecular masses. Once see this point, you can understand easily. Next, coming to the examples, that is regarding SN2 reaction mechanism. Just now I already explained. Particularly in the case of Williamson ether synthesis, we are observed the SN2 reaction mechanism. Check your notes for the reaction mechanism. Next, coal-base reaction. This is also very important. Go through your notes. And coming to acidic nature, comparison of acidic nature of orthonitrophenol and orthomethoxyphenol. Which one is more acidic in nature? Can anybody tell me the answer? Which one is more acidic in nature? See the structures of the two compounds. First one is orthonitrophenol. This is the compound orthonitrophenol. This position is called as ortho position, having nitro group, and this total compound is the phenol. So the compound is called as orthonitrophenol. And this compound is the orthomethoxy. Methyl plus oxy is called as methoxy. This is present at ortho position. That's why it is called as orthomethoxyphenol. One thing, my dear students, NO2 group is the electron withdrawing group. The NO2 group is known as electron withdrawing group. Here I am writing. The NO2 group is the electron withdrawing group. Whenever the electron withdrawing groups are present, what about acidic nature? Acidic nature get increases. When the electron withdrawing groups are present, the acidic nature get increases. The acidic nature of the phenols get increases due to the presence of electron withdrawing groups. Whereas OCH3 methoxy group is acting as electron donating group or electron releasing group. Electron releasing groups decreases the acidic nature of the phenols. Decreases the acidic nature of phenols. Decreases the acidic nature of phenols. Yes, now you can understand which one is more acidic in nature. Any phenol having electron withdrawing groups are more acidic in nature. The phenols with electron donating groups are less acidic in nature. So based on that, we can say that orthonitrophenol is more acidic, whereas orthomethoxyphenol is less acidic in nature. So based on acidic nature of alcohols and phenols, so many MCQs are there. That topic is very, very, very important. Acidic nature of alcohols, phenols, right? And next, coming to the boiling points. Just now I said ethyl alcohol, that is called as ethanol, and methoxymethane. These two are the isomers. Methoxymethane is the ether, ethanol is the alcohol. Alcohols are having hydrogen bondings. That's why ethanol is going to have higher boiling point with compared to methoxymethane, right? And coming to some other reactions, nitration of anisole, there is the electrophilic substitution reaction, and the Friedel-Crafts acylation of anisole. This is also an example of electrophilic substitution reaction. And anisole is an example of ether. This is also the ether. But anisole, what is the structure of anisole? What you can say something about anisole means anisole is a aromatic ether. The structure is on benzene ring. On benzene ring, if you take a single bond OCH3, this compound is called as anisole. What is the formula of anisole? The formula of anisole is C6H5 OCH3. And because of the presence of these delocalized pi electrons, anisole also undergoes electrophilic substitution reactions, right? Next, coming to some of the previous questions. See the first question, read the first question. All of you, please read the first question. Which among the following is alcohol? Alcohol means which functional group should be there? OH functional group. Of course, you will get a, sir, here OH functional group is there. 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 Which compound is going to be the alcohol? Yes, you have to consider order of priority of functional groups. Otherwise, in simple, you can say that, sir, here only OH group is there, sir. That's why this is the alcohol. So simply you can find your answer. The answer is option B. Okay. Yes. Next question. See the question number. Next question. Which is ether, or which one is ether? Among these compounds, which one is ether? Yes, first of all, you have to know what is meant by an ether. Ether means single bond or single bond group containing compounds are called as ethers. Here you can find single bond O single bond, right? Here you can find single bond O single bond. Here also you can find single bond O single bond. So all these are the ethers. Next question. Which one is phenol? Phenol means on the benzene ring, one of the hydrogen should be replaced with OH group. This is the only the phenol. This type of compounds are the phenols, not this one. This type of compounds are the phenols. Yes, see this one here on the benzene ring. Here you can see on the benzene ring, one hydrogen is substituted with OH group. So this is an example of phenol, right? But here you can observe aldehyde group. Among the aldehyde group and OH group, once again, among the aldehyde group and OH group, which should act as functional group? Aldehydes are preferable, more preferable with compared to alcohols. So that's why this compound is not the phenol, right? And coming to this compound, here OH group is attached to sp3 carbon. So this is not a phenol, this is the alcohol, okay? And coming to the next compound, option D, here cyanide is there. Cyanide is more preferable. Cyanide is nothing but nitriles. Nitriles are more preferable. So this one, and this one, all these compounds are not the phenols. So coming to option A, here nitro group is least preferable. It always acts as substitute. The nitro group always acts as substitute. So what is the functional group here? OH group is the functional group, and that is directly attached to benzene ring. The OH group is directly attached to benzene ring, and in this compound only the OH group is acting as functional group. That's why this compound is considered as the phenol. Very, very, very important, my dear students. To understand this one, you have to check the order of priority of functional groups. Order of priority of functional groups. In the NCERT textbook, it is given order of priority of functional groups. In the first year chemistry textbook, you can find the order of priority of functional groups. Okay. Once go through that one. Next question. IUPAC name of HO, CH2, CH2, OH is. Here I'm going to write the compound. CH2, CH2, OH, OH group is there, right? CH2, single bond CH2, single bond OH, single bond OH. This is the compound given. This is the first carbon, this is the second carbon. So total 2 carbons are there, eth, single bond is there in first carbon and second carbon having 2 OH groups. That is called as diol. The compound IUPAC name is ethane 1,2 diol, right? So please focus on IUPAC nomenclature to get the marks easily. Next question. IUPAC name of, again here the IUPAC name is asked. The IUPAC name of the compound. Here you can see single bond O, single bond. This compound is called as ether, first of all. And in this ether, two alkyl groups are there. Single bond, single bond, single bond. Here, this group is containing three carbons, carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3. Here, this is also another alkyl group. Here you can see carbon 1, carbon 2. This is a small alkyl group. This group is the small alkyl group. Small alkyl group. Whereas this one is the large alkyl group. Large alkyl group. So the small alkyl group with oxygen is taken as substitute. Once again, the small alkyl group with oxygen is taken as substitute. So what should be taken as substitute here? Which group should be taken as substitute? Yes, this group is taken as substitute. In this group, you can see two carbons. That is two carbons alkyl group is ethyl with oxygen. Ethyl plus oxygen, that is ethoxy. Ethyl plus oxygen, the group is called as ethoxy. Remaining chain is containing three carbons, that is prop, all are single bonds in propane. So this is the correct IUPAC name of this compound, ethoxy propane. Okay. So you have to practice all the IUPAC nomenclatures. Next question, the IUPAC name of the compound. In this compound, you observe the benzene ring attached with single bond O, and single bond O is attached with ethyl group. Just now we discussed this is an example of a alkyl aryl ether. Which type of compound it is? Alkyl aryl ether. How can you say it is alkyl aryl ether? Yes, here C2H5 group is there. Okay. And that is bonded to oxygen. And that is bonded to benzene ring. That is a single bond C6H5. So in terms of the formula, I can write the compound like this. Now tell me, what is its IUPAC name? Very simple. Small alkyl group containing chain along with oxygen is taken as substitute. So this is a substitute. Ethyl plus oxy. Ethyl plus oxy, that is called as ethoxy. This is a benzene ring. So the compound is called as ethoxybenzene. Very, very, very important. Ethoxybenzene. What is the option? Option D. Next question. Which among the following show tautomerism? To exhibit tautomerism, a ketone is required or an aldehyde is required. So if you observe alcohols that contains single bond OH group, of course phenols also contain single bond OH group, but in phenols the single bond OH group is attached to benzene ring directly. Ethers, they contain single bond O single bond group, anisole contains single bond O single bond group. These two are ethers. We require alcohols first of all or phenols. Suppose if I am going to take the phenol as well as if I am going to take the alcohols, whether alcohols can show tautomerism? Whether alcohols can show tautomerism? Yes, alcohols can show tautomerism as well as phenols can also show tautomerism. But most of the times alcohols are going to exist as in the alcoholic form only, but not in the ketonic form. That is either aldehyde form or ketone form. Yes, to understand this one, just observe this compound. CH2 double bond, CH single bond, O single bond H. This CH2 double bond, CH single bond group. This group is called as vinyl group. Vinyl group attached with OH group, that is called as vinyl alcohol. Double bond is known as ene. OH group is called as ol, enol. Vinyl alcohol is an example of enol. Enols, they readily undergo tautomerism. That is keto-enol tautomerism. The hydrogen which is attached to oxygen, that is more acidic in nature. This hydrogen is more acidic in nature. So this hydrogen transfers towards this unsaturated carbon. As a result, this pi electrons are shifted towards this unsaturated carbon. then the unsaturated carbon becomes as saturated. That is CH2 carbon becomes as CH3. Here, double bond becomes as single bond. Here you can find the single bond. And as a result, this sigma bonded electrons are delocalizing between carbon and carbon. Then you will get a C double bond or single bond H. That is acetaldehyde. So conversion of vinyl alcohol to acetaldehyde. This is a keto-enol tautomerism. What are involving in tautomerism? Alcohols are involving in tautomerism. Of course, if you observe the phenol, whether phenols can exhibit the tautomerism, this is a phenol. Benzene ring single bond OH is the phenol. For your convenient, at the other position, I'm taking hydrogen. When this sigma bonded electrons, when this lone pair of electrons are going to delocalize. See this one, when this lone pair of electrons are going to get delocalized, between carbon and oxygen, single bond becomes as double bond, right? As a result, the oxygen gets positive charge. Now, here, due to the delocalization of this lone pair of electrons, this pi electrons are going to, this pi bonded electrons are going to get delocalized towards ortho position. Now, as a result, this ortho position gets negative charge, and negatively charged carbon is having more percentage of S character. So this hydrogen is going to be acidic in nature, as well as this hydrogen is going to be acidic in nature. But among these two, which one is more acidic in nature? Oxygen attached hydrogen, because oxygen is having positive charge. This hydrogen is more acidic in nature, but not this one. So from where we are going to remove the hydrogen in case of tautomerism, from where we have to remove the hydrogen? From the OH group, we have to remove the hydrogen that should be transferred towards the unsaturated carbon. So like that, here also, this hydrogen is going to be shifted towards this carbon, because here nucleophilic center is there. This is the acidic hydrogen. This is going to shift towards this one. Then we'll get this type of structure. In this structure, here you can observe C double bond O. C double bond O means a ketonic group. So phenol is converting into ketone group. But most of the times, the phenol is going to exist in its resonating structures, but not in the ketonic form. So the answer is not the phenols. The answer is alcohols. Okay. Next question. Alcohols and ethers are, just now we discussed, alcohols and ethers are functional isomers. Functional isomers. What are meant by functional isomers? The isomers which differ in the nature of functional group. Suppose here I am writing single bond OH and a single bond O single bond. Single bond OH is called as alcohol. Single bond O single bond is called as ether. Between these two groups, what is the difference? The difference is only one hydrogen. So whenever two different functional groups are taken, between the two, the difference is only one hydrogen, then the two functional groups containing isomers are said to be functional isomers. Alcohols and ethers are functional isomers with each other. Next question. Which one will be optically active? To know about optical activity, first you have to know the chiral center or asymmetric carbon. See this carbon. This carbon is attached with 4 different groups. Then this carbon is called as asymmetric carbon or chiral center. Through this compound, if you are going to pass plane polarized light, the plane polarized light may rotate either in the clockwise direction or in the anti-clockwise direction. Then such compounds are said to be optically active. For our question, if you take the option A, say this compound I'm writing here, this is the group having 1, 2, 3 carbons. This is the propyl group. This is the group having only 1 carbon, that is methyl group. This is the group having 2 carbons, 1 carbon and second carbon, that is 2 carbons here, ethyl group. And this is the OH group. So finally, at the center, you can observe a carbon. Which type of carbon it is? Asymmetric carbon. And which type of center? That is chiral center. So this type of compounds are optically active. Very, very, very important for NEET students. Next question. Which one is optically active aromatic ether? Just now I explained about optical activity. Just try to answer this one. Next question. How many minimum number of carbons are needed for an optically active ether? First of all, ether. Ether means a single bond or single bond. On one side, I'm going to take methyl group. On other side, I'm going to take a carbon that should contain different groups because the compound should be optically active. So this carbon should contain different groups. That's why I'm taking one side hydrogen, one side methyl group, one side ethyl group. Now this is a total ether. In this ether, this is the carbon called as asymmetric carbon or chiral carbon, and it is the chiral center. Okay. Count the number of carbons. 1 plus 2, 3 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 5. So to become optically active, the ether should contain minimum number of carbons are 5. Very important model. Next question. Third degree alkyl halides form alcohols preferably via. Yes, in the alkyl halides chapter, that is known as haloalkanes chapter, we discussed about SN1 and SN2 reactions. Tertiary alkyl halides always undergo SN1 reactions. So the SN1 reactions of tertiary alkyl halide is going to give alcohol. Next question. Alcohol reacting with SOCl2, thionyl chloride. SOCl2 is called as thionyl chloride. Very simple. The OH group is going to be replaced with chlorine. We'll get alkyl chlorides. Already it is studied in the haloalkanes chapter. So the answer is alkyl chlorides. Next question. Which one is preferably reagent for a given reaction? RCH2 single bond X, that is alkyl halide converting into RCH2OH. Conversion of alkyl halides to alcohols. What should be the reagent taken? We have to remove the halogen and we have to substitute the alcohol. So here I'm going to take a H2O mixed with KOH. H2O mixed with KOH, and on heating, this halide group is going to be substituted with OH group. From where? From potassium hydroxide. So the process is called as conversion of alkyl halides to alcohols. Once check your notes, there you can find the reaction, so many reactions. Next question. SN1 mechanism is observed in. Very simple. SN1 reaction is observed in tertiary alkyl halides, right? If you observe the tertiary alkyl halide, this is the tertiary carbon. A carbon, is it tertiary? No, it is secondary because the carbon is attached with two other alkyl groups only. So this is a second degree alkyl halide. This is alcohol. This is the methyl halide or alkyl halide, and this is alcohol. So second degree alkyl halides can readily undergo SN1 reaction mechanism. Of course, tertiary alkyl halides are more reactive towards SN1 reaction mechanism. But here in the question, tertiary alkyl halide is not given. That's why I'm taking second degree alkyl halides readily undergo SN1 reaction mechanism. Next question. C6H5 single bond CH2 single bond. This total group is called as benzyl. Benzene ring with single bond CH2 is called as benzyl. Bonded with chlorine, it is called as benzyl chloride. Yes, benzyl chloride, this carbon is the first degree carbon. Why? Because means this carbon is bonded with one carbon only. So benzyl chloride is an example of first degree alkyl halide. First degree alkyl halides readily undergo SN2 reactions, right? Next question. CH3 CH double bond CH2 propene. Propene is an example of unsymmetrical alkene. So when propene is undergoing a hydration in presence of an acid, this follows Markovnikov addition. In the Markovnikov addition, negative part of the reagent, that is OH minus of water, attaches to double bonded carbon with less hydrogens. H plus of water, that is positive part of the reagent, bonds to unsaturated carbon with more hydrogens. Then CH3 single bond CHOH, single bond CH3. We'll get the product. This is a product. And which type of mechanism it is? Markovnikov addition. Once check your first year notes for Markovnikov addition. Yes, next question. RCH double bond CH2. This is an unsymmetrical alkene undergoing ozonolysis. So when unsymmetrical alkene undergoes ozonolysis, very simple. Simply you can write here, you have to break the two bonds, write one oxygen here, write one oxygen here. What you will get? RCHO, that is aldehyde, and HCHO, that is also aldehyde. So this alkene on ozonolysis gives two aldehydes, two different aldehydes. Aldehydes on reduction gives alcohols. Once again, aldehydes on reduction gives alcohols. So our final products are going to be alcohols. Why? Because means here what we are taken in the second reaction, lithium aluminum hydride. This acts as a strong reducing agent. So aldehydes easily converts into alcohols. In our option, where the alcohols are present, option D is having both the alcohols. That is the answer. Next question, reaction involving anti-addition. Anti-addition means anti-Markovnikov addition. When the anti-Markovnikov addition takes place, the anti-Markovnikov addition takes place in presence of mercuric acetate and sodium borohydride. In the first year alkenes chapter, we discussed about this one. Once check that one. That is a mercuration and a demercuration process. The reaction is called as mercuration, that is oxymercuration and a demercuration. The reaction is called as oxymercuration, and demercuration reaction. Very, very, very important reaction. Oxymercuration and demercuration reaction. So that is all about some of the MCQs. Remaining you have to practice. If any doubt is there, you can call me, we'll discuss. Already I said the time. In the time only you have to call. Thank you and all. Stay home, stay safe. Have a nice day. This is your chemistry lecturer, Cesar Naidu, signing off.